Good morning, everybody. 8:42 now, and Sarah Casselman is joining us. She is the senior editor of Fashion News with Fashion Magazine. So this has to be, as we wrap up LG Fashion Week, one of the biggest weeks of the year for you.
It is a very busy week. It has been a busy month. We cover all of the international shows, of course, at Fashion Magazine, starting with New York through to Paris, and now we're finishing off with LG Fashion Week.
How does this one compare? Because those are huge, New York and Paris. I mean, they're known for fashion. They've been doing this forever, and we're so newer to the game. How does our week compare?
Absolutely. I mean, Toronto, this is its 12th year now for LG Fashion Week. And of course, at Fashion Magazine, we cover all of the international trends, but also part of our raison d'etre, if you will, is we cover the local fashion scene as well. And this is a very big part of it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our, designer superstars and big models have definitely moved on, and they're walking in the shows in Paris, and they're showing their collections in New York. So certainly it's important to showcase our homegrown talent, and that's what this week has been all about.
Mm-hmm. What am I wearing? What do I need to know?
What am I wearing? The big trends. Well, we're seeing a lot of polka dots, which is interesting because they're very hot this season right now for fall and winter. So we're seeing that carry over into spring 2012. We saw that at Kimberly Newport's show over at for Pink Tartan. Mm-hmm. Nautical striping, of course, is making a big comeback in colored stripes as well, not just the typical navy blue and white. Femininity is back. We've seen a lot of menswear inspirations for seasons to come, blazers and those slouchy trousers. We're seeing
this is a
no, that's my staple as well.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, and those are always classic pieces. But maybe with a blazer for spring, we're seeing a pleated skirt to the knee, and it's kind of a little more sheer, diaphanous, very, very pretty.
You look befuddled, Dave.
What's a slouchy trouser?
A slouchy trouser. Getting to our fashion vocab for the day. It's just a little lower on your hip, and so it's that kind of borrowed from the boys look, if you will.
Isn't that
saggy pants?
Oh, they're passing legislation against that kind of thing in the United States. Is that still a?
Not going to slouch that far.
Not that far. Yeah. No.
Just something.
We're not moving into hip hop. We're still kind of in the
Oh, so a slight slouch. Great, more room.
What were some highlights for you? What were some of your faves?
Favorite shows of the week, definitely Arthur Mendoza. He's taken a bit of a hiatus for the last couple of years, and he's back on the LG Fashion Week scene. Very exciting and, a much anticipated show. He showed a lot of interesting skirt suits, so they're back in a big way. Peplums we're seeing in a big, big way for spring. And Mendoza did them with a zip off, so you could either wear the skirt suit with a peplum or without. So it's sort of an interesting two-in-one feature.
Should I know what a peplum is?
I don't know what that is either.
I know what it is.
Do you?
It's when you have a jacket or a dress that flares, and they say that Kate Middleton is sort of bringing that back.
Oh.
Yes.
That's
that
all
comes
I know.
out?
Yes,
just
it does.
a little bit. So it gives
That's
you
called
slight
a peplum?
volume. Exactly, a peplum. That's
I
right.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so those are back.
I need to wear a peplum?
You do.
Peplum, yes?
Yes, you
Help
can.
this woman.
Yes, a peplum is a good thing
Because
for
I am
spring.
nothing if not a slave to fashion. So
And
I
it looks
might
fantastic
rock
with
it.
a very slimline pencil skirt. It really it really emphasizes all of your best attributes and sort of takes the emphasis off certain areas too. So it really is an interesting figure fixer as well. Oh. So it's a great embellishment on a piece of clothing.
So some really wearable clothes and trends that you're seeing.
Absolutely, very wearable. I mean, we're still, obviously, there's lots of drama on the runway, and that's the whole point of the fashion show as well, to take these collections that you're going to see in stores and, between all of the hair and the makeup and all of the great accessories that they add, that really adds the drama. And of course, just being there in the tents, there's a certain sort of energy and a great spirit with all of us sitting
Well, you were there last night, Chris.
I did. I braved through it because I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I went.
I said, who doesn't?
Yeah, I went to. It was my first ever fashion week, fashion anything, because I'm not really a fashion expert at all.
Yes.
But it was great for people watching. I went to. Forgive me, I can't remember her name, but it was a jewelry show.
Oh, Caroline Negron.
Yes.
Nice. Yes.
And it was, I said you would have loved it because it was all women in bathing suits and just sort of feather stickers. And wearing jewelry.
Yeah.
But it was so neat to go because at the end of the show, she came out and she looked so excited. She just went, oh, I'm so glad everybody enjoyed it. It was really nice.
Absolutely, and that's part of the joy too, because a lot of these designers are showcasing their collections for the very first time, and so exactly. Just to see their reaction. I mean, they have to, working up to that. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it, a lot of money, a lot of sleepless nights that go into it. So just to have them come out is great.
If you're a designer, is Toronto a good place to be? Because another conversation I had with somebody there, a Toronto actor, he said, I like this. This is pretty cool, but sometimes Toronto tends to keep it a little subdued, especially if you're being compared to the giants like Paris and New York City.
I mean, I think it's all relative. I think for the Canadian fashion scene, absolutely. The designer lineup for LG Fashion Week includes Toronto-based designers, but also designers nationwide. So Sid Negum is from Calgary. Lots of different designers from Montreal. The Mercedes-Benz startup winner this year is a design label based out of Montreal called Martin Lim, and they are a fabulous new design team, husband and wife team out of Montreal, and they won this competition with their bright billowy silk pieces.
So how does this move now from the runway to the stores, to the consumer? Are buyers there during this time trying to decide what they want to put in there?
Absolutely, and that's it. It's a whole gamut between fashion editors like myself who are covering it for future profiles or stories. There are buyers involved as well. Of course, the team from Holt Renfrew we see there. The team from the Bay is there, and lots of other independent boutique design teams are there too, watching and looking to see what they might want to purchase from the runway. And of course, that's just the beginning. Once the runway show is over, these designers will have the buying teams to their showrooms where they can go through individual pieces without all the drama and chaos of Fashion Week, and you can really look at the pieces up close. And that's kind of where, it's really interesting to see all of the embellishment and all of the fantastic tailoring that goes into these pieces.
If you could have taken one piece home off the runway?
One piece off the runway, don't do that to me. That's not fair.
You can walk up and take it.
One piece off the runway, I love dresses, and for me it would have to be one of Joe Furcao's dresses at the end of his show. It's interesting, he's also taken a bit of a hiatus as well, and he's back on the scene, but he had these very chic sequined cocktail dresses at the end of his show, and he's really known for killer cocktail dresses, and so he delivered big time in that way. So.
Dare I ask, how much?
The prices. You have to really putting them in.
Yeah, that's right.
All those details, yes.
That's fantastic. Sarah Casselman, thank you so much. She's the senior editor Fashion News with Fashion Magazine. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Taking another short break. We'll be back in a minute.